Hi, welcome to Experiences of an Empath. I'm in one of my favorite places, which is outside. Winter is coming to an end in a couple of weeks, so it's pretty crisp but really cozy outside right now. So I wanted to film this very first video outside. And so if you hear some things going on, it's just dogs barking or people walking by or whatever. But nevertheless, on this channel, we will cover things such as lifestyle. I'll be doing product reviews. I will do like nature walks. I will cover things along the lines of like health and wellness. I do a lot of DIYs, like a lot of DIYs myself, as far as like putting products together or how I may order products off of Amazon and then use them in a home. I'll be going out and about, and it'll be conversations and then also story times as well that I'll have. But if anything you can expect on this channel, it will be transparency. That's one thing that you can expect out of me. Definitely transparency. And in addition to transparency will be open-mindedness, especially when it comes to situations that may have happened to me or people that I know that have happened to, and I'll be given insight from an empathic standpoint. So you may be wondering, like, what is an empath? Well, I brought up Google, and Google says that an empath is someone who is highly sensitive to the emotions of others. They may feel what others are feeling and may also absorb or take on those emotions. Well, that's me. Um, I am an empath and I do have the ability to absorb and take on other people's emotions. But I had to know how to actually be an empath. But once I found out what it was, it's also a matter of learning how to be in it and still be yourself, and from a healthy standpoint, because a lot of people seek out people to, we'll just say, emotionally dump on, which is not a good thing, because everybody do need friends, but sometimes people just come to one particular person in life to dump on, and that's really just not okay, especially when it leaves the other person feeling depleted. Because I can only say this from my personal experience, that I had a friend that whenever there was a problem going on in her life or she needed somebody to talk to, I was always there. I had no problem even being there for her because she was my friend, so I thought. So this went on for quite some time, for years. Not a problem. I didn't have a problem with it. But when I really sat back and thought about it, when I would call her if I had an issue, I wouldn't get the same reciprocation as the listening from a understandable point, or either, just following up a couple of days later saying, hey girl, how is the situation going, or how did you make out, or how are you feeling? I didn't get that same feedback that I had given. So my thing is, I think it's okay to have friends, definitely, that you talk to and want to be cool with, because you want the exchange to be a balance. You don't want it to be like a take relationships. As empaths, we actually are known to be givers, and if we don't watch it or set boundaries, which is something that I had to learn to do, then yeah, we will find ourselves always getting the short end of the stick. So once again, it's not a bad thing as long as you know how to set boundaries and actually discern when a person is actually for you and when they are not for you. Google also says that empaths are able to sense subtle emotional shifts and understand unspoken feelings, which means that you ever had a situation happen to where you talked to somebody and it was okay one day, and then the very next day, like, you can feel like a person's energy has like completely changed, or they're talking to you in a certain tone, or there's a certain undertone um, that wasn't there before. And you may be thinking at first, it's like, okay, it's just them, or it's just the way that is. Well, that's because, if anything, if you think further into it, it's because the person may have had a second thought about the conversation you had, and maybe had a difference of opinion, and maybe not being truly transparent with you. And we as empaths, we're able to look into that. I don't think people don't really understand how emotionally intelligent that we are, because we are very, very emotionally intelligent beings. We There's a lot of looking at the undertone, and a lot of times it's not something that we try and do, it just happens. So whether you're trying to or not, it can literally, it's like, okay, something's off with this person. And the only reason I say that is because I had something like that recently happen, to where um, me and this person, we were really, really cool, and I found out they had a conversation with somebody else, and then that kind of, shifted our energy to where me and that other person were no longer friends, because I'm like, I'm not going to be friends with you if you are basically withholding information from me, and then you're talking about me behind my back. Like, that's not cool, because I would never do that to you. If I had a problem with you, then I would come directly to you. So, moving along, it says that they may form deep, meaningful relationships with others. And we do. Once you are actually in with us, and when I say in, like, we're cool with you and we feel like you have our best interests at heart, we don't mind going above and beyond. And it would literally take a lot for us to be, um, pushed off or shoved away from you. Like, you would have to literally like break our hearts. And that's pretty much what it is whenever you have offended a empathic person. There's no going back. And even if you do go back to being cool, it will never be the way it was before. It will never be the way it was before. And it's okay, because it's something that's protective. Because we have to protect our energy, because no one else is actually out there looking out for us in the way that we look out for others. So, yeah. Another thing that Google says is they may have trouble setting boundaries or saying no. Yeah, that's pretty much what I talked about before. Setting boundaries and saying no. I went through that. It's all about learning how to use your gift. I look at it, it's a gift. It is a gift. And it's being able to read the room before you walk in. And if you sense the energy is off, or you feel like, if you sense or, get the inclination, people are looking at you with a envious eye, or you're having a conversation with someone and it doesn't feel like the kindness or the gentleness is there, if the person is being emotionally unintelligent, then yeah, it's a gift to be able to say, hey, I don't know if I need to still continue to be friends with this person, or continue to interact with this person, or continue to do business with this person. So it is a gift, and it can save you in the long run. I know recently I had conversations with a person who I really thought was my friend. We were just talking, candidly talking, thinking that this person was cool as all get out. Well, sometimes after you replay conversations in your head, you start to say, I didn't catch that at the time, but your guards are down. When the person's truly you think the person's truly your friend, your guards are down. And it's okay. We all live and learn. We're going to be living and learning for the rest of our lives, whether you realize it or not, like it or not. This is a life of learning, but you can choose to do things from a more, um, emotional, use your gifts to your advantage. Let's say that you can choose to use your gifts to your advantage. Once you find out, yes, this is a gift, I'll use it to my advantage, so I won't in turn in the future go through the same thing or repeat the same pattern that I did before. So it says that they may be susceptible to emotional fatigue and stress, and yes, because if you're having a conversation with someone and you're absorbing their emotions, and people say they're emotionally dumping or being an emotional vampire, yeah, you have your stress, and then now you have their stress, and if you don't know how to appropriately deal with it and how to let that conversation stay where it is, and just be there for that person the way you need to be there for them, and just leave it alone, then yeah, it can be draining, but it's okay. As I stated in this channel, I'll be having story times that will pretty much tell you how I deal with it and how I'm able to um, just navigate being an empath in this life, in this day and time, because it's so much going on. And if anything, we have to be cautious around people who may not even know what they're doing. They may not even know it. And it is okay. But regardless of all things always work out. It doesn't, we're all here to help each other. I do wholeheartedly believe that. I believe in helping people. So if you can't help someone, don't hurt them. So once again, if you like what you heard, please stay tuned.